E non so se dire benvenuti o non benvenuti in questo caso, perché fossi in voi scapperei all'istante. Purtroppo a un certo punto ho mollato il colpo, non gliela facevo più, sono andato avanti, ho cercato di fare le cose insomma un po' così nel mio stile, un po' alla cacciarona, perché così sono fatto io. E purtroppo è vero. Nella missione principale c'avevo 2 missioni principali che mi stavo tenendo lì, volevo fare tutte le secondarie, volevo fare le cose fatte per bene, tutta la descrizione delle cose. E purtroppo a un certo punto una serie di missioni che non mi hanno permesso di andare avanti, non lo so, non ho capito, sinceramente non fa nulla, può capitare una distrazione, capita a tutti. Per quanto riguarda la missione principale, una complicazione con il cervello computeronico, vediamo se riesco a farla. Al momento sto facendo questa qui, uno strumento per dispiegare spazio e tempo. Trovo un modo per raggiungere la parte occidentale di Praetor. In realtà sono entrato dentro una struttura, vediamo un po' anche la mappa. Siamo andati qua, vedete che insomma qua c'ero già stato, ho fatto alcune altre missioni. C'è anche una missione qui in realtà, però da quello che ho capito bisogna prima sbloccare queste qui, perché a un certo punto ci sono dei blocchi proprio fisici, quindi non si può andare avanti. Insomma un po' casotto, non mi è piaciuta sta cosa, però vabbè, insomma, anche perché teoricamente il gioco ci fa fare tutte le missioni che vogliamo, l'ordine che vogliamo noi. Nella pratica non mi sembra che sia proprio così. Poi se mi sono sbagliato vi chiedo scusa, ma comunque tant'è. Quindi siamo andati qui attraverso l'impianto di produzione di automeccanici, uno strumento per dispiegare spazio e tempo. Vabbè, non so se troveremo questo device o quello che cavolo è qua dentro. Io comunque insomma qualcosa già ho provato a fare. Insomma adesso mi trovavo nella fase concitata della mission e quindi ho detto vabbè, proviamo. Qua c'è una serie di stronzoni, li facciamo fuori velocemente. Insomma, almeno credo, non lo so, sicuramente. Vediamo un attimo. Vabbè, che dobbiamo fare? Li facciamo fuori. Ecco, dobbiamo fare.
They covet our due bounty. Breaking for cover. Yeah. Can't be too far, I bet. Perfection is perfect. Already found.
Oh.
The Protectorate is seeking cover.
Vediamo un po' tutto. Vogliamo la zona degli stronzoni.
Improving
Energy transmitter out. Soak up the shock. Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges. Transmitter down over here.
Ok, abbiamo disattivato la barriera, quello che sia. Per capire che cosa dobbiamo fare qua dentro. C'è una fabbrica. Cerca i pezzi del potenziamento, dice.
We best flush him out.
To battle!
Tolerable disruption.
Yeah.
Crisply moving to cover.
Hackeriamo questo terminale. Una cosa là sotto, non lo so. Oh, non lo so. Si capisce. Boh. Passaggio segreto, qualcosa, non lo so. Vabbè, ci vediamo fra poco. Ok, sembra che abbiamo beccato l'upgrade che stava qua dentro. Che è un kit di potenziamento per Valerie, il robottone. Quindi credo che sta roba l'abbiamo fatta. Ok, mission accomplished. Credo, vediamo se è così. Sì, non lo dà più come... Non c'è più, quindi continuiamo. Andiamo qua. Incontra Zebulon. In realtà non me lo fa... Non me lo attiva. Vabbè, comunque direi che qua dentro non c'è più niente. Vedete che non c'è più nulla. Quindi usciamo. E ci ritroviamo a uscire di qua. Possibile? Ah, non lo so. Oppure dall'altra parte. Vabbè, proseguiamo di qua, dai. Andiamo qua. Poi vediamo,
Energy transmitter deployed for battlefield recharging. Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it. Go for torpification.
Ok, andiamo per questo obiettivo. Gun.
Transmitter down over here. Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges.
In short order. Taking cover.
Energy transmit. Torpificator at ready status.
Sensibly, I must reload.
Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Bagno di sangue.
On sugar, no doubt.
Torpificator is charged.
Ok. Bene, 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 bene. Un attimo che la strada forse non è questa, però. Ma qua ci sono una serie di missioni che sono unite, per cui è anche un po' complicato. Vado dritto per dritto di qua,
Despite your advanced age and apparent frailty, I note you to be remarkably robust.
Thank you, dear. Despite your apparent incredible stupidity, I find you only mostly stupid.
No need to spit venom. The old and the
Salve, amico nemico. Ok, amico.
Central controls and... Wait. Orbit around? What are you doing here? I've heard a great deal regarding your exploits within the Protectorate, and it is all that prevents me from summoning the Guard. Have strict orders to arrest you on sight.
I've no desire to slay you, but if you seek to prevent me from pursuing my duties, I will have no other choice.
Arbiter Rao did not report to the consul's summons. Consequently, he is wanted for questioning. It is only our difference in rank that stays my hand from attempting arrest. We'll overwhelm you yet! Alarm! Intruder at Central Control! Battle stations!
Posso così.
It is a privilege standing by to stupefy.
Ammunition!
Energy transmitter out. Soak up the shock. Commander, throwing energy your way.
Poi si va di qua. Disabilitiamo? Sì. Ok, un altro passaggio libero. Alleluia. Però controlla le comunicazioni delle sentinelle. Ok. Immagino sia qui, lo attiviamo, va bene.
Smells like paint and agitated dust.
Seems like...
Non faccio più sconti a nessuno, basta così. Sti cavoli proprio.
Disruptive impact! Attempting to pursue.
Trouble about. My hammerhand itches.
His gaze sees all.
Blah. Scusi. Scusi.
Seems the con
And a Donnybrook ensues. Payback will be swift and terrible. Replenishing my fire. Better take a care. That's some disturbance detected.
Cosa? Salve. Ci siamo? No, forse no. Sopra, eh? Mi sa di al piano di sopra. scale da qualche parte? Boh, non so. Qua si scende però.
Team Arbiter's old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order.
Ok. Spegni sta radio. Docce. Non ci interessa. Sto saccheggiando la qualsiasi.
The old quarters are... they have all been removed. I hardly recognize this place.
Why, Tristan, are you actually having a demonstrable human reaction?
I'm fine. Some dust nearly found its way into my eye.
Salve. Come vanno le flessioni? Ops.
Stand ready. Our foes are close.
Ah, l'ascensore. Bene. Ok, finalmente. Chiedevo come salire sopra, non c'erano le scale.
No surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode. Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked.
Bene.
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot.
Stai bene?
I'm fine, because I think I understand what was actually happening. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
Those unable to accept the truth do often invent their own.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense. Don't twist in me. Just because the situation looks dire doesn't mean... Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhal, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
Non è una vecchia fiamma, vero?
Not the time for your deranged jests.
Well, that's ridiculous. My interest in Arbiter Rao is purely professional.
Enough. This has been an unpleasant day, and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort.
Sono accuse pesanti, Lancione, discutiamone. Non si può discutere con i criminali. Dovevo constatare di persona che l'abito Rao aveva abbandonato la sua postazione. L'ho fatto, devo rispondere.
If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken.
Diciamogli qualcosa di inaspettato. Tristan, non vedi che sta semplicemente facendo il suo dovere così come fai tu?
And again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice. I would not, but I know the reality of swaying an arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
Vediamo se riusciamo a fargli cambiare idea. Tristan ha risparmiato una sentinella che voleva arrestarlo. Ti sembra un traditore?
He was simply doing his duty, just as you or I must every day. killing him would have been wrong, even though attempting to arrest me was a criminal act.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice. And I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did. What you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
Non devi nemmeno rispondere. Sai benissimo che non sarebbe giusto e si vede benissimo.
But it is of no consequence. That is, I must... Architect's mercy. I'm just not sure.
Persino l'arbitra suprema sembra che abbia avuto delle difficoltà ad agire correttamente secondo le vostre leggi.
We don't know that for certain, but to an onlooker, without our knowledge, it could seem that way. And such presumed traitorousness would be very confusing.
Even the Supreme Arbiter has struggled with this? That doesn't seem possible. But I suppose there's no way to ask her now. I shall trust your words. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the protection.
Ok, a posto, abbiamo fatto facina, sono felice che abbiamo risolto.
Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Wasn't expecting such a mature resolution from our little arbiter. I'm impressed. And not even in a backhanded compliment sort of way.
So, what course of action do we take now?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud.
Vabbè.
I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
Appreciate you using your forebrain for a change.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad. All this excitement did not make me forget the confession of the Supreme Arbiter.
Stai mentendo te stesso, lo sai. Queste scusa non sono degli un arbitro.
Together, we can discover Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly.
Abbiamo fatto? Possiamo andare via? No, sembra di no. Sembra di no. Penso che dobbiamo prendere l'ascensore. L'ascensore, no, non possiamo da questa parte. Adesso ci possiamo muovere. Niente. No, qualcosa deve succedere allora. Wow. Sembra che sia andato. Ok, vediamo se possiamo attivare questa. Non lo so. Che è la missione principale. Però se non mi sbaglio non si poteva fare, infatti non si attiva la missione. Esatto, no, non si può fare al momento. Oh sì. Si capisce. Vabbè, vediamo un attimino se la possiamo fare, Ok, sono riuscito ad avvicinarmi alla struttura.
Protectorate personnel, only beyond this point. Leave immediately. If you are not of the Protectorate, exposure, undermining, functioning.
Quindi, ok, siamo arrivati a questa altra struttura qui. Sono quello che devo fare perché non posso fare diversamente.
Activating energy transmitter.
Si capisce che serve questa roba qua così. Vabbè. Andiamo tutto per dritto.
What in blazes? Where is everyone? This entryway should be teeming with guards.
Che ti dispiace?
Attention IRC staff. Please head inside for an important announcement from the console. Attendance is mandatory.
Announcements are seldom so pressing that everyone must leave their posts. I find myself wary.
Eccoci, bravo. Sali sopra.
Exposure, undermining, functioning.
Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized.
Ok, un'altra torretta fatta fuori. Benissimo.
Yeah.
Currently performing the tasks of excluding additional input.
Due to an anomalous event, the Interstitial Hall and Exhibition Tower is off limits for the foreseeable future to any and all non-essential personnel. All requests to view the prototype Rift Anomaly Modulator are hereby suspended for the time being. Please direct all further queries and study petitions to the lead researcher's
Subjects,
office.
listen well. Days ago, our beloved sovereign, in his infinite wisdom, submitted himself to mental refreshment to strengthen his resolve for the good of all. At his command, I, Emery Thoreau, now accept the responsibility of shepherding you through these dark times until our sovereign's blessed return. I shall not take this duty lightly, for I address you today not as the consul, nor even as your new leader, which I am, but as a simple man who wants nothing more than to defend his home and his neighbors. But I cannot do it alone.
Wonder how long ago the Order predicted this. Assume the presiding bishop's been keen to
celebrate the bravery of our once and future sovereign. So dry those tears.
Quindi?
Call upon you to stand tall with renewed zeal. Together, we will finish our great sovereign's work and purge Arcadia of those who seek to harm us. We shall clench our victory and step into the prosperous future our matriarch promised.
Vabbè, niente di che. Yeah. Vai, si danza, si danza. Dove si va? Sopra? Non so. No, è sigillato, è sigillato, sigillato.
There must be something here.
Salve.
Arbiter. I know I do not have leave to access these security files, but I can assure you, my intentions are in service to the Protectorate.
At ease, subject. I've no business with you.
Then, does your arrival have something to do with the commotion I heard just now? Are we under attack by the enemy? Looking for proof. There was an incident recently, and I believe our head of security is neglecting his duty to investigate. So it is my duty to report him.
Of course. Tell me of these security lapses.
Albin Valancort is the Sentinel charged with supervising this facility and all its researchers. Unfortunately, he's a punitive man who delights in the wretchedness of others. I recommend he be replaced until such time as his behavior has received proper scrutiny and subsequent correction.
I remind you that I am in no way beholden to your recommendations, subject. Whether or not your compatriot receives correction is up to my discretion alone.
Oh, of course. Should you require further data points for your assessment, however, I would most dutifully provide them, including my version of the recent incident. Unless your lamps have oxidized, you must have noticed my arm. I lost it saving the Sovereign from a rift experiment gone wrong. An experiment I was in charge of, naturally. Valancort supplied my name for the reports, incriminating me in the eyes of my colleagues. And since he's closed off that wing of the lab, I can't prove my innocence. You are in the company of an Arbiter, so perhaps you can be trusted. Whatever the cause of the incident, it is my duty as a law-abiding Protectorate subject to gather proof and uncover its cause. Really, Valancort is forcing my hand here. Help you with acquisition? Assuredly not. If, however, in your exploration of the lab, you happen upon the modulator, I surely would not be able to prevent you from seizing it. What I am offering is help afterward. Once you take the prototype, it will set off an immediate lockdown. I can facilitate your exit from the facility, but only if you help me in turn. That modulator will be necessary to unfold the rift and find the evidence I need. And if Valancort suffers repercussions for its loss, I will count that as an added benefit. The prototype rift modulator is currently in Interstitial Hall at the top of Exhibition Tower. There's a lift in the next room over that can take you directly there.
Ok, grazie per la dritta.
Make your way to Valancort's quarters. He should have a spare key card that will grant us access to the restricted wing. I'll monitor your progress from here. Be cautious. The guards of this facility will attack anyone unfamiliar to them. But once you have the key card and rift device, reconvene here, and we'll go together to the wing. That is what we've agreed upon, is it not? Valancort keeps all of the items he confiscates from the staff in a locked closet in his quarters. There may be something pertaining to the investigation within. I've already shared more with you than I ought have, but go ahead. That's an ugly way to describe a legitimate transfer of power. And if you're trying to bait me into expressing an opinion of my superiors, I assure you I will not. In public, Henry has adopted the affectations of his father. In private, he is much more personable, though meddlesome too. Always wanting to be involved in the experiments. He becomes most animated when we discuss how matter might be reconstituted from the rifts. What was lost somehow returned. You could say he has a vested interest. His motivations are personal. All I am willing to say is that he is a man who loved his family very much and would move planets to see them again. He and the consul wore coats cut from the same stern cloth. Henry has never quite matched either of them, in terms of temperament or severity. Far be it for me to tell you how to operate. I've already shared more with you than I... The Interstitial Reconfiguration Center was created... How do you know about that? That disaster and its link to the death of the Sovereign's family was not made public. No one outside of this facility is supposed to know of it. Regardless, even though Horizon Point's destruction, or we were, due to the exacerbation of the Greater Rift recently, these less...
Basta? Sì, non c'è più niente da fare qui.
Hostile nine.
How long has the weapon been sitting inside that rift? 2?
I thought you were... That scum. That miserable scum. To think he would stoop so low as to overthrow the Sovereign. I shall not rest until the Consul pays for his treachery, and Arcadia's rightful ruler is... I'm pleased to hear you hunger for justice. We shall certainly have no shortage of circumstances to slake your hunger. I fear how my fellow subjects will respond to this news. I believe that most will remain loyal to the Sovereign. I shall attend to that matter once it presents itself. I sincerely doubt this is the end of my thoughts related to the matter, but we've wasted enough time with my ruminating. Let us be off.
Hence, a formal...
To battle!
Energy transmitter deployed for battlefield recharging.
Disagreeable business. Giving chase. Forever vigilant.
Oh, interessante sta cosa. Ahia. Mi sembra evidente che c'è rimasto solo questo. O sbaglio? Ok. Andremo nella giusta direzione? Non lo so. Sì. Ok, ci siamo anche per questa mission. Qua l'altro... Ok. Attraverso il ponte e porta all'archivio. Uno strumento per dispiegare spazio e tempo. Non lo so, perché... Macello comunque. Ah! E quindi ci conviene, a parte che possiamo tornare qui dopo perché abbiamo sbloccato il fast travel. Finiamo un attimo la mission, quindi torniamo qui, fast travel.
the device in hand, we shall be able to reveal the contents of these rifts. Whether or not that is something we truly desire.
Enemy in vicinity.
Yeah. No? Sì. Sì. Finalmente l'arma che ci serviva per chiudere le fratture. Ok, ci siamo, apriamo la frattura. Quindi così tutto qua. Vabbè.
To the unsubtle thief, It's not every day that someone is fool enough to break into the Interstitial Reconfiguration Center, aided and abetted by one of our very own arbiters, no less. I'd be obliged if you would regale me with the tale of how you managed to get this far. A crude assessment and utterly untrue. I am perfectly accommodating to non-incompetence. I suspect you did not reach here unaided. So who was it? Which one of my undutiful brain boxes helped sponsor this little pilfering? You cannot fault me for trying. Well, there will be time to scrutinize every angle of this breach at a later date, once I have dealt with you. Does such bravado normally advance your agenda? So be it. We can forgo civilities. I will await you in the hangar. There, bullets may fly more freely than words.
Ok, non vedo l'ora, guarda. Vabbè.
As of this morning's demonstration, we have finally proven my central thesis. Matter within the rifts is not permanently destroyed. Broken down into pure information. This confirms many of our theories about the rift to an overwhelming degree. Potential to restore this information, albeit imperfectly. I expect the Sovereign will be most pleased. I'm scheduled to meet with him later today to discuss my findings in impress upon the Sovereign the risks of this research, lest he insist on attending the next demonstration. I surely cannot rely on Valancort to do his actual job.
Way. Front.
Sovereign never seemed especially perturbed. You know what prudence always says. Crawling, transcending, your heart's reasonable abandon?
No, that's only for celebrating the death.
be reluctant to unfold any risks you come across using the modulator. They may eject something useful to you.
Exposure. Undermining. Functioning.
Fulfill my duty to the Sovereign as a loyal protector of some a long time.
You suppose there's been another...
Your execution.
And...
Ciao.
Yeah.
Forse ci siamo, Forse ci siamo.
This office is more immaculate than my quarters. I have found that the tiniest spaces often belie filth-sodden deeds.
My family's wise counselor for more years than I have drawn breath, Emery. But that does not grant you the right to challenge my will.
Why, I challenge nothing. I simply offer guidance where I may. I've neither the wit...
Ok, torniamo dalla dottoressa. Glielo dobbiamo. Ci riesco, non lo so. Sta vicino comunque. Devo essere qui, vediamo un po' se è qui. Esatto.
Having that device nabbed on his watch nigh guarantees Valancort a long stay and mental refreshment, if he is not subjected to swift and fitting arbitration first.
Should he ever amass the courage to confront me in the flesh, I shall deal with him as I see fit.
Of course. An arbiter's judgment is always sound. Matriarch's blessings on you. Let's not waste time then. I'll lead us to the restricted wing now. Once there, reopen the rift using the modulator, so we can begin searching for clues.
Seguiamola.
This way. There's the sorry excuse of interstitial reconfiguration of my arm. Rifts reconstitute matter in an imprecise manner. But use your imagination to conjure the original seed that could lead us to the evidence we need.
Indaga sulle cause dell'esperimento fallito. Come si aspettava, il misterioso componente scoperto gli oggetti confiscati di Valancort si inserisce perfettamente nel generatore di frattura. Usa le sue competenze scientifiche per fare una diagnosi. Senza il componente si creerebbe una scarica elettrostatica eccessiva a pochi attimi dopo aver acceso il generatore di frattura, innestando inevitabilmente una piccola esplosione. Ha scoperto tutto ciò che potevi da questo indizio.
I would normally not distrust a Protectorate contraption, but I fear what the Rift device is capable of.
You've discovered something? I knew it! I am absolved. And yet, I cannot possibly imagine what would have possessed him to deliberately endanger the Sovereign's life. It's unconscionable. I would characterize Valancort as many vile and unmentionable things, but a traitor? No. A man cannot defecate without... For all the time I've spent trying to unsnarl Valancort's mercurial behavior, it seems there was yet more I did not know about him. Did you uncover anything else? I had heard rumors of the Sovereign's diminished popularity since the war began, but I scarcely trusted their veracity. That any subject should commit such an abominable offense against the Matriarch's own blood? It is nigh impossible to fathom. I think I'm beginning to understand exactly what happened here. But if you have... How did this go unnoticed during final checks? This is surely why the rift destabilized on us. You've provided more evidence than I could have hoped for. Thank you. Valancort must have sought to curry favor with the Consul by eliminating the Sovereign and making space for the Consul to step into power. He sabotaged the machine, hoping the rift would perform his dirty work for him, and left me to suffer the repercussions. Chief Valancort is an obvious threat to the values we hold so dear, and thus a traitor to this great protectorate. Do you not agree, Arbiter?
This evidence is insurmountable. Valancort must answer for his crimes.
Then let us go and confront him, now. I'm no longer willing to wait for the arc of justice to bend in my favor. Valancort needs to die for what he's done. if I distract him, can I count on you to do the rest? The kind that buys you time to do what you need to. If we can find a way to isolate Valancort from his forces, he will be much easier to... He wouldn't dare. I've devoted more hours to studying rifts than almost anyone living. And since the Order abandoned us, the Protectorate does not have minds like mine to spare.
Hold on now. The Order hardly abandoned the Protectorate. You Yaysayers attempted to assassinate our presiding bishop. That's not even mentioning your meddling with the rifts.
Nevertheless, we have gotten off topic. Trust me, I know Valancort. This will work. I very much doubt the microbes in your stomach have the insight you presume. But I can tell you're not going to accept no for an answer. I'll remain here. Valancort is unlikely to provide conversation before slipping you a bullet, so I recommend slipping him one first. Be ready to fight and give him no quarter. When it's done, return to me. Erstwhile, I will be doing my ample best not to chew through my nail beds. You have an update, I hope. I've already shared more with you than I ought have.
Ah, così?
You've discovered something? I knew it! I am absolved. And yet, I cannot possibly imagine what would have possessed him to deliberately endanger the Sovereign's life. It's unconscionable. I would have liked to have been there when you gave that villain his reward. But nevertheless, my name is cleared and you deserve a reward for your efforts. Have no fear. No evidence of our little collaboration will survive. I'll see to it. Thank you again, but you mustn't stay. Go. I'll handle the cleanup.
Via.
Now that you have the Rift modulator, any previously inaccessible rifts could be worth revisiting. Rifts may contain useful equipment and resources. However, due to the chaotic nature of reconstitution, some creative problem-solving may be required in reaching them.
C'è anche un'altra piccola missioncina qui, vedo. No, in realtà c'era quest'altra. Yeah. Beh, stiamo procedendo, nonostante problemini.
After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I don't see Niles with you. Did he not listen to the whole of my message? I asked for him specifically. I hope your memory does not prove as porous.
Ok, andiamo a recuperare Niles.
You've brought Niles. Good.
Gotta say you had me worried. The message you sent sounded serious.
Then I composed it accurately. To the task at hand. We are standing before the tomb of the matriarch. Few are invited to tour its halls, and even fewer know of its greatest secret. For any subject, visiting the matriarch and First Sovereign's resting place is the pinnacle of empty social achievement. But the tomb's corpses are its least important feature. The intelligence my friends risked all to acquire revealed a vault in its lowest level containing the matriarch's body of work, hidden from the public. Who knows what technologies the Protectorate is withholding? If the matriarch was the genius she's purported to be, the skip drive cannot be the entirety of her inventions. Whatever technological advancements may be sequestered here, the goal is almost certainly to keep the populace of Arcadia subservient to the pernicious whims of its governing body. But not for much longer. We are going to liberate any and all of the matriarch's research, whatever it may be. The time for considering risk is past. We cannot afford to be timid when battling giants. Besides, now I have 2 Earth Directorate.
I can see a half-dozen points of failure, but bad odds ain't ever stopped us before.
Glad we're operating under the same understanding. We're unlikely to have another chance like this. We must follow through now that we've made the opening. Which also means, once inside, we cannot...
There's no one else left. Consul made damn sure of that.
The failure at the Vox, an escaped prisoner, cannot be tolerated. The Consul ordered a colony-wide search that netted the rest of our cell. Audra blames herself, even though she shouldn't.
Don't tell me how to feel, Zeb. You mind your guilt, I'll mind mine.
Ain't sure that's the right takeaway there, Commander. There ain't words to describe how sorry I am. I thought we were doing the right thing.
I will not pretend it isn't a blow, but what's done is done. There will be time to grieve once the Protectorate is dead and buried. After you.
Tomba della matriarca.
Stay close and keep silent. The less attention we draw, the better. By the matriarch, you weren't supposed to be visitors.
For my next gift, I bestow upon you the pinnacle.
You hang back here. The commander and I'll take care of this.
Let this accord between the Protectorate and the
Interessante.
the Ascendant mark the moment of Arcadia's true birth.
Beloved matriarch, you are near.
Electrical damage. Failing.
Will we see?
Salve.
We can continue. Wait there. I'll come to you.
Safeguarding the matriarch's remains.
trigger. Run!
Che fanno? Vabbè. Aia. Che cacchio è successo? Non si è capito.
There. We can access the lower level now.
The security room that we need to reach is nearby. Should be able to disable that energy barrier from there.
Who goes? No one is allowed in here without the proper authorization. Ah, I see you have come armed. Intruders, then. I suppose you intend to extract my surrender through means most lurid and foul.
Damn, the head curator. I had hoped to slip in before his shift, but no matter. We cannot allow him to leave and raise the alarm. He must be dispatched, quickly.
How's that now?
Now hold on. I know we had to kill that fella with the Sentinel, but this man's unarmed. He's already surrendered.
I rather think that line has some blurry distinction.
How much of a fuss could this one fella cause, really? Come on, Zeb. No need to cut any bellies over maybes and ifs.
Please, if secrecy's your concern, you may rely upon me to be the utmost spirit of discretion. I have never betrayed a confidence in my life.
Allowing him to leave would be a grave error of mercy, one we can ill afford in this place.
If we start gunning down civilians, where does it end, Zeb? Ain't Arcadia covered in enough blood?
You need me to clear that moral obstruction for you? Fine. This man is an instrument of empire, perpetuating the tyrant's lies. And were our positions reversed, he would not hesitate to execute us, or worse, send us to mental refreshment.
I'm kin to the risks, Zeb.
Are you? Can you even fathom the indignity of having your every thought scrutinized and scored and made perfect? My sister was made into a shadow. I endured daily sessions with the lathe of particularity and still find myself policing my own mind for untoward proclivities and inclinations.
The commander's right. This man didn't put you in the lathe, Zeb. He's just trapped in the system, same as everyone else.
I never have possessed immunity against your pleading. Fine, you're free to leave. Do not repay this kindness with treachery.
You are merciful and wise. I will depart at once.
Let's hope the consequences of this decision do not assert themselves while we're still here. You and Niall should turn off the power to the security barrier and make your way to the vault. I'll remain here and guide you as best I can through the labyrinth. No turning back now.
Ottimo. Evita le trappole. Si scende qua. Andiamo indietro semplicemente.
No going back from here. Not until we've done what we came here.
Hold! Don't set foot in that room. The schematics on this console indicate this place is defended by all manner of traps. One moment. Yes. It appears there are N-ray tripwires, invisible to the naked eye, that will electrify the floors if crossed. Move cautiously, and if you have any gadgets that might help, I suggest using them.
Yeah.
Have a look, Commander. With a little elbow grease and some inadvisable engineering, reckon I can finagle these components into a fine explosive gel. Who knows? Could come in handy. Knew that piqued your interest. Let's keep on. I'll continue tinkering on this in the meantime, see what I can come up with. It's secrets all the way down with the Protectorate, ain't it?
You've made it through. Good. Now there should be 3 switches in this room. When pulled in the correct order, the door should open. If I'm reading this right, the order is 1, 3, 2. But which switch corresponds to which number? Ah, damn it! Why must the Protectorate abstract everything?
Must be a way to suss out which switch is which. Maybe if we could peep the wiring.
That on the first try. Well, I'll not lament a stroke of... That vault door is quite the obstruction. Fortunately, there should be a code. No. Fuck! I changed it recently. That shouldn't have happened until next week. I'm certain I can diagnose the issue. Now that you've cleared the way, I'll come down and join you.
Facciamo esplodere, sì.
I might have something else that can get you into that vault. Does that seem a little off to you, Commander? Appreciate you showing him a little grace, all things considered. That business with the curator. I'm glad. I'll be damned if I go down the same path as DeVries. Some ideals are worth fighting to keep, even if it means taking the long way round to winning. Well, no use stewing. We've still got a vault to break into and tyrannical government to topple. Speaking of, remember those components I found? I was able... You take the honors, Commander. I'll be right behind you.
Bene.
Nice! I was hoping for a more subtle incursion, but... no matter.
Am I running hot, or was that a hint of worry I heard in your voice back there?
Alas, I neglected to pack a thermometer. This terminal should allow me to retrieve all the information stored here. This cannot be right. There's nothing here save the designs for the skip drive. Not even initial concepts. 10 years in Arcadia and the Matriarch invented... nothing? And what's this about a deal with the Earth Directorate? We need to talk. Now.
Bene.
I knew the Protectorate festered with lies, but I had no idea the Earth Directorate was complicit. Niles, did you know?
Slow up, Zeb. What are you talking about?
It says your agency struck an agreement with the Matriarch over a century ago. In exchange for skip drives, Arcadia was allowed to completely govern itself with absolutely no outside interference, including from the Earth Directorate.
Must be why the chief said we'd be on our own if we were caught. we were breaking the terms of this agreement. Unbelievable.
If this information is true, then the Earth Directorate permitted the matriarch to create a colony filled with her vassals, enslaved to her will. Everything Arcadia is, all of the suffering that's taken place here. There's more. The skip drive schematics are here. How the explosive safeguards against tampering work, its evolution over time. But no original concepts, no sketches. Nothing. Our dear matriarch is a fraud, a cheat. She did not invent the skip drive. There are messages here between her and the First Sovereign that all but confirm it.
Rather a convenient revelation for an enemy of all the Protectorate stands for. Pardon me if I choose to remove myself from this mad conversation.
I thought I might find some technological innovation that could be handed to the Protectorate's enemies. But this is almost better. By releasing this information, we can thoroughly crush the image the Protectorate has been built upon. No longer will the Protectorate's myth of superiority be used as a cudgel against its own populace. If we administer truth to the people, their strength will return. Erstwhile, giving the skip drive designs to the Protectorate's enemies will even the fight. Their technological prowess will be made into nothing. Everything will come apart.
Allora, innanzitutto consegneremo i progetti del motore a proiezione ai nemici del protettorato. Per riequilibrare la guerra, il divario tecnologico verrà annullato, cadrà tutto a pezzi. Mi piace questo piano, ma potrebbe esserci degli inconvenienti. Un'idea terribile, sono i motori di protezione che causano le aperture. Qui si può digerire solo la sezione,
If the whole colony ain't destroyed first by some fool trying to use a drive inside the system. There was causing the rift, Zeb. Not to mention how this agreement with the Protectorate will completely destroy the Earth Directorate's reputation.
I was not aware of such a connection between rifts and the skip drives. But I have confidence the Order will figure out a solution. Science is their theater, after all. As for the Earth Directorate, don't you see? This frees them from any obligation to the Protectorate. They'll be able to manufacture skip drives themselves. The deal will be voided.
Parli come se ti aspettassimo un intervento del direttorato terrestre che metta fine alla guerra.
The rift is solved and ships can enter the system. Why not? From what Niles told me, the Earth Directorate would be in opposition to Protectorate tyranny. I'll admit, the Earth Directorate has much to answer for. But if they would help, I would welcome.
Ancora indecisa, tu cosa ne pensi, Niles?
It's worth holding the Earth Directorate's feet to the fire for this deal, but I don't think the entire organization should be judged by its worst decision. It's done a lot of good, too. Plus, making the skip drive tech available, that's like throwing a lit match into a fuel converter. Can't think of a worse idea right now.
Do you think the Protectorate stand around debating the potential for injury? No. They act, and so must...
E va bene, divulga il progetto del motore di proiezione, ma non nominare il direttorato terrestre.
Very well. I suppose you've earned your organization some grace.
Still ain't sure about loosening the skip drive designs, but we've got some time there. Until the rift is fixed, no one's going anywhere using one. Not unless they have a death wish. And this way, at least the Earth Directorate's reputation will stay intact too.
Whatever happens next, the Protectorate won't survive it. That's all that matters. Thank you for your assistance in this matter. I had my doubts, but you truly delivered. I'll remain a while longer and make sure to grab everything off the data banks.
Guess this is goodbye.
Only for now. If we both come out of this war intact, I'll find you. If you wish to be found, of course.
I want to talk it over with the commander, but... yeah, maybe we can work something out.
Fai più male, è stato concluso. Missione, insomma, abbastanza, credo, importante.
Reckon the information about the matriarch and the skip drive will stir up some fervor, but Zeb was right. The people deserve to know the truth. Well, most of it. I'm glad we were able to leave the Earth Directorate's name. Deep down, I'm still convinced the galaxy is better with the Earth Directorate in it. Flawed as it is. But what happened with Arcadia can never be allowed to happen again. something has to change within the Directorate. And I think we're best positioned to see that reformation through. You're right. But that's a pill that'll be a lot easier for folks to swallow in the future, once we've proven the agency's changed for the better. All said, I appreciate you giving me the space to work through this. Sort of feels like the future's opening back up after a long time closed. Likewise, Commander.
Vabbè, continueremo il prossimo episodio. Questa è stata una puntata, credo, decisiva per la storia. Insomma, si sta delineando forse il finale, o comunque dove la storia almeno la nostra storia andrà, perché credo che ci sarebbero stati più finali. Io ne farò uno e basta. E quindi ci vediamo al prossimo episodio. Un saluto a tutti da Italia. Ciao!